Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, if you're new to the page, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I just want to come and bring you guys some morning news with my hair undone, getting ready to work out. Allergy eyes, morning voice, and all. All right, today is brought to you by Money Moves, where now we have stocks, crypto, and options classes. We dropped the first class on yesterday. We'll get back to that later. Let's get you guys off and going to work. Okay, we have a lot that are going on. Jamie Dimon now says a recession is the likely outcome of Trump's turmoil. Okay, a tariff turmoil. All right, so Jamie Dimon he's usually negative. For him to be the CEO of one of the country's biggest banks or the world's biggest banks, he's always negative. So I would take what Jamie Dimon says with a grain of salt. But like he said on the other day, that most of the CEOs he talks to thinks that we are already in a recession. Most of you guys do too. We know that GDP catches up later. But let me give you a rundown on some of the news. Excuse me, guys. I didn't comb my hair. I got a trainer coming, okay? So let me put these glasses on so I can see with these morning eyes. Good morning, everyone. So, excuse me, we got the pre-markets are down yet again. And that's due to our tariffs, which is now 104% that took place on last night, all right? So we have placed on China 104%, all right, tariffs, because we had the regular tariffs, we had the tariffs from the last time, then we had the reciprocal tack on, and so now it's at 104%, all right? Good morning, good people, all right? Most do not see China bagging down. We just don't see it. President Xi, he ain't no punk. He ain't going to be easily bagging down. And this is what I was talking about. Remember before the tariffs took place a couple of weeks ago, I said, who I fear is Trump and Xi. Those two power heads they're stubborn and it could cause a lot of pain. Well, we've had a week of pain now. All right. So now China put on another 50% on top of their 34%. And now effective tomorrow, their tariffs towards us is at 84%. 84%. Okay. So that's what is going on now, this back and forth. And remember, I was talking about, I wanted to see what the EU was going to do. The European Union, and now they are talking with China. Okay, so we import and export goods with the EU, and then now they're trying to see if they can do a deal with China as far as their goods, which is not good for America as that's part of our GDP, okay? Right? And so now the European Union is trying to cut around and see, hey, what's going to happen? No one knows. No one knows exactly what's going to happen, right? But there's one person that knows what the final outcome is, and there's a lot of confusion, okay? So, again, Congress is seeking a more tariff control with bipartisan bill introduced by the House, okay? So now you got both Democrats and Republicans trying to take tariff control, all of it, some of it, out of the president's hands and back, all right, into their hands. That's what they're trying to do, okay? So that's what's going on. Okay, oh yeah, then the Treasury meets with Wall Street to move forward with a U.S. plan of a sovereign wealth fund. Well, you can't have a sovereign wealth fund if there's no wealth. But if that goes on, I believe that Bitcoin will somehow be added. That's about a year out, okay? So we're in for another volatile day, good people. That's as they say, that's what's happening. we're in for another volatile day as the markets are down right now. Okay. And so I wanted to come on this morning, share with you guys some of that news. Now, here's one of the things I want to show you. I haven't adjusted the volume, so please. And today may be a day that I dip my toe in. But I want you guys to listen to this back and forth with the former Secretary of State. And some of you guys will get more of a clear vision of why this is so dangerous, because no one knows the outcome, all right? So let's just listen and then we'll go from there.
The world, including some of our closest allies and partners, is we need to move away from the United States. What I'm hearing is that here's I think the real challenge. It's possible that in some of these instances there'll be a negotiation and maybe something concrete and positive will develop. But the message that this is sent to countries around the world, including some of our closest allies and partners, is we need to move away from the United States. We can't rely on the United States. We've got to work around the United States. So we're going to be doing more with each other, and in some cases, more with China. You now have the EU trade reps meeting with their Chinese counterparts. The South Koreans and Japanese, for the first time in 5 years, meeting with their Chinese counterparts. So my concern is that this is pushing countries that we need with us to deal with a lot of challenges away from us and maybe even toward China.
How do you see the negotiations with China itself playing out? The president has now talked about effectively tariffs that could get ratcheted up to 104% effectively of the price tag of things that are being imported into our country.
Well, this is an extraordinary game of chicken, because I think it's very hard for Xi Jinping to back down or be seen as backing down. So they're going to have to find some way out of this spiral.
They are, or we are?
In effect, I think both of us, because I think this heads to a very bad place. Last time around, the President struck a deal with China. China vowed to buy a lot of stuff from us. They never actually did, in part because of COVID, maybe in part because they weren't going to follow through, but there was an off-ramp. There needs to be some other kind of off-ramp here that allows Xi Jinping to do what he needs to do to cover himself politically, but also get some kind of result that the president can point to. But again, I come back to this proposition. Look, when we're dealing with China alone, and there are many unfair trade practices that everyone's very familiar with, the overcapacity problem is real, especially on cutting-edge technologies. But when we're dealing with China alone, we're what, 20% of world GDP? When we're aligned, as we were just a few months ago, with partners in Europe, partners in East Asia, we're 50 or 60% of world GDP. A lot harder for China to ignore. That's the way to get results. So I'm afraid that, you know, we're heading to a place where instead of it being America first, it's America alone.
Your last speech.
So that's what some of the facts is. I know, everybody is going to, weigh everything with a grain of salt. But some of what every statement that he said is true. Like China, for those of you in China, the people of China, I know you guys, some of you guys are watching, you guys know. All right. This is not against the Chinese people. We love the Chinese people, but China steals. They steal our property. They take our manufacturing, or they take our inventions and they steal it. They steal our patents, and they're just brutal. Like we'll send stuff over there. They'll find a stress crack and reject the whole shipment. I mean, that's been their trading practices. So we need to even that playing field. Question is this the proper way to do it? And the truth be told, there are a lot of people that knows all of the numbers way better than you and I do, as much study as I do. And the truth be told is we're going to find out. And also we're going to pay. Just like anything else, we're going to pay. And the one thing that we have to understand is, regardless of who we voted for, who you voted for, who I voted for, we're all going to pay. The people are going to pay, right? So let's look at the pre-markets, okay? And let's keep this going, all right? So we are look at that. It's not good already. Gold spiking up, right? We can see that gold is spiking up again, another 2.36%. We got the S&P down in the pre-markets. We could see that down by 80 points, another 1.6%. We got the NASDAQ is down by another 1.23%, down by another 212 points in the pre-markets. Okay, what else we have? We have, okay, we can see it here. We could see it right here, right? This is the Dow, which is only 30 stocks, US 30. We can see negative 521. All right, S&P 500, negative 40. NASDAQ or QQQ, negative 68. And then with crypto, we could see that crypto is coming down. Come on down, right? We could see Bitcoin is 76.9, continues as XRP is continually plummeting down another in the last 24 hours, down another 7.62%. I told you guys I am buying more heavier in Bitcoin from 76 down to 74. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. All right, but if you look at the fear and greed index, you could see that we have entered in crypto. We have entered extreme fear. Okay, look at that. Boom, extreme fear. Now, if we are still headed towards a bull market, you know as well as I know that extreme fear is generally where you buy. All right. And for those of you that are long holders, if you think that we are still heading towards crypto summer, all right? And at one point, the Dow futures were down more than 600 points, right? So question is, how long? And the question is, when will this be over? All right. Good morning, Cousin Kathy. When will this be over? Will today be a buying day? Think about that. Will we be buying today? Is today a day to buy? That's what that's why I titled the thumbnail the way I did. Is today a buying day? So now that we know where the tariffs are, our 104% tariffs took effect last night here in the US, right? And now China is at 84% back to us. The question is, what is the next move? The market is trying to find out what's the next move. What is the next move? Now, today, a lot of this could be priced in, maybe. Now, don't come back and say, Larry said the bottom is in. No, I am not saying that. Because I don't know what President Xi is going to do, and I don't know what President Trump is going to do. All I know is the two of these are not likely to just bag down, right? So what happens is you got two extremely bullheaded people, all right? I said it, all right? So you got Donald Trump, which is the most headstrong president we've ever had. You could take that negatively or positively because you gotta be headstrong and you gotta be a little cray-cray to run for the president of any country. And then you got a headstrong president of China. So you got two headstrong people that are both bulls, right? There's no bull and bear. There's just bull versus bull. Unfortunately, there will be casualties. And that casualty, look at your retirements, look at your stocks, look at it, what's going to happen to inflation, all right? We got CPI. I think we got some CPI coming out. Is it tomorrow? And so that's what's going on, good people, all right? So I want you to be careful as you trade today. For those of you that are trying to do options today, don't enter in a call or a put and walk away. Don't do it today because the last 2 days we've had fake outs. So sometimes the best trade you could take is no trade at all. Remember that because you want to further protect your money. You want to protect your money, good people. All right. That's what it's all about. Now, hey, for those of you that are not aboard and for those of you that are listening to me, I have Money Moves. That's there. Sorry. Money Moves. Sorry. Is up. and I got the first class in. Hey, if you've seen the first class, leave me a coffee cup if you're in Money Moves, right? So we're teaching stocks, crypto. I'm showing you we have our portfolios where you see we got crypto where you see where it's not a lot of action right now in crypto because we're just dollar cost averaging. And then what I'm doing is I'm starting you out for the absolute beginner on options. Again, if you are a pro with options, you know what you're doing, you know your way around, this is not for you. Don't even come over. This is not for you. But it's for the few of you guys that are just beginners and want to know the fundamentals of options and how to make money, then that is what we're doing here. This is going to be the only link. There, this is the coffee cups. All right. And hey, and I explain it in a way where you can understand it. Okay. So that'll be the only link below in the description. If you're on your cell phone, just click down and click more. All right. All right, good people. We will see you later on today. Have a blessed day in spite of, but keep your eye on the market. If there's any deals being done, then we could start to turn around. But as you can see, we've had 2 days of ridiculous fake outs. We'll see you later on today. I got this young buck coming to train me, and I'm trying to get my swole on. All right. Hey, in spite of everything that's going on, good people, you and I, we're going to stay focused. We're going to make money in spite of. All right. Love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.